Hey, thanks for tuning in. It's Axe. I'm bringing you a video today, uh, an analysis of my 325 Duriel kills. And I've been looking forward to doing that since the start of the season. But I need to preface the analysis by saying a few things, one of which is I am a casual gaming dad. D4 is my primary recreational hobby. So 325 is a small number for some, and that's just the max for me. So with such a small sample size, I'm obviously not trying to draw any type of conclusions about the statistics that I've collected here as an individual, about what this means for Uber drop rates from Duriel or elsewhere, anything like that. I just thought, hey, this would be fun to track every pull in a spreadsheet and what loot drops. So I did that, and I'm here to bring you a video of my findings. So, whether you killed Duriel much more or less than me, I'm curious. How did your experience align? So let's dig in. I'll show you. Got a little infographic prepared, and we can break down what happened with these 325 Duriel kills. So first of all, of those 325 kills, there were 341 unique items that dropped. The most common unique item of all of those was X-Falls, which for any type of barb I wanted to play this season was completely useless for me. But as we kind of go in and see a look at all of the loot that dropped and what the breakdown was. X-Falls followed by Banished Lord, Godslayer, Tuskhelm, T-Bolt, Soulbrand, Flicker Step, which I could have sworn from my experience was a lot more than it actually did. But, when you're looking at all of these other uniques, somewhere between 10 and 14% is fairly negligible. These all had pretty much the same amount of chance to drop. But then you notice this one purple sliver here, and that was the Uber uniques that dropped for me grouped together, that totaled about 1.8%. Alright, so that's how it broke down. And I think if for any of us who have done this grind, you're probably familiar with the feeling of a double unique dropping, right? Two uniques on one pull. And that is, in my experience, how Uber uniques drop from Duriel. It's always an additional drop to another unique at the same time. So in any event, it's a little bit of a heart-stopping moment when you see two uniques drop from Duriel. That happened to me 15 times along the way of 325 pulls. So 4.6% of the pulls, I got that little shot of adrenaline where two uniques dropped at the same time. Now 6 of those, for 1.8% of the total pulls, were actually Uber uniques. So I am, believe me, feeling very lucky by the fact that 6 uniques dropped in a total of 325 pulls. There were times along the journey as I was tracking this that about half of the time that double uniques dropped, it would have been an Uber unique as well. So I remember I had 8 double unique drops and there were 4 Ubers at that point. It sort of spread out over the last several pulls, but that would have been cool to keep going a little bit further and maybe try to get it to match up at 18 and 9 or something like that. But anyways, that's kind of how that shook down for me. And then what actually dropped? Well, let's take a peek at the drops now. So 6 Uber drops. The first was after pull 113, an Andariel's Visage drop. So it was a double drop. I think it was Helm. So I thought, oh boy, this could be it. And when you go back and watch the video of that dropping, you can see the disappointment on my face. It was not the Uber unique Helm I was looking for. But in incredible fashion just 11 pulls later, after like adding a socket and upgrading Andariels and convincing myself that I was going to use it and like it. Um, the Shaco drops. The guys in that group were just absolutely rotted, still all waiting for their first Uber, and there I am in the course of a couple of rotations, 3 rotations, and I have 2 Uber unique helms. So then we get to pull 152, and another Shaco drops. And it was just at that time that the devs put out a tweet or community post about like hanging on to your duplicate Ubers because there was some sort of crafting system coming. And, almost 30 pulls later, and another Andariel's Visage drops. So I knew after the patch, when this Uber crafting came into existence, that I did have 2 doubles that I would be salvaging for Resplendent Sparks. As the week progressed and I did more and more rotations, I ended up pulling the Doom Bringer at pull 211, and then ultimately Melted Heart of Seelig at pull 277. So I like these items a lot. Doombringer especially is a game changer. I use that a lot in Season 2 on multiple characters. That max life is, one of the best stats on a weapon. And I used it for some time with my Barb right now, and it was good. Same with the Heart of Seelig. Good item that did wonders for me in Season 2, getting through Abattoir of Zir. I used it in Season 3 as well. It was good, but those slots I think are better served for my build with Aspects right now. And the Andariel's Visage, while it would be nice to take back to the Eternal Realm because I don't have one there, I just thought, yeah, but when am I ever going to go on the Eternal Realm and use that? So I knew I had these 3 Ubers plus 2 Resplendent Sparks that I already salvaged. And if I didn't find the Grandfather by the end of getting fed up with farming Duriel, I was going to consider salvaging those 3 Ubers for Grandfather, and that is what I ended up doing. So it was fun. And it was a grind. In order to keep that going for me, I really tried to just like utilize the trade market, sell off elixirs and incense and boss materials that I didn't need, purchasing living steel and malignant hearts along the way. I would also like sell services like boosting tier 90 vaults for people's alts and things like that, and just kind of build up some wealth and some gold and then spend it relentlessly on boss mats. So in any event, it was a fun little project, and glad to share those results with everyone. And let me know how your experience went as well, if it lines up to that or something completely different. But thanks for checking this out, and we'll catch you in the next one. Later.